3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 515. I am Brian Kilby, and with me, as always, I'm buoyed. I'm buoyed by the crazy Chris. That I just botched that.
Really
badly. Really
It's been
badly.
boinked?
No, boinged, not boinked. That's different. No boinking here. And I am conjoined by Don. How's it going, Don?
Fine. Apparently, this is adjective and adverb night.
This is no. We are now bound together. By
Great.
This is the worst remake of the movie Twins I can imagine.
No. It's even worse. It's Energon Generation 2.
Energon Generation 2. We also have Diecast.
You know what else is pretty bad?
What?
An ashtray made out of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime space.
That actually seems like something that we would have seen in Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Realistically. Or I guess Age of Extinction was not as violent as Dark of the Moon. When it came to, maybe it was.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Someone who has not watched either movie, Matt, how's it going?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
I think
Except for the fact that I did not get my new microphone this week.
I'm sorry. I gave you the tracking number. Hopefully the post office can get that to you.
I bet they can't.
I think I'm going to pick up Matt and drag him to this movie.
Which movie?
The new Transformers movie.
The last night?
The last night.
I wouldn't advise trying.
You guys should do that.
I'll just be like, oh, we're going looking for Transformers. Come on, get in.
You realize Matt's a lot smarter than you, right?
Yeah.
and you just warned him, so...
Oh, God. We also have Rob. Rob, how's it going?
Not bad.
So, Rob, tell us again what it took to get you to agree to go see The Last Night.
Bribery!
And we are also buoyed by John DeLuna. John, are you there? Are you playing Zelda?
Yes.
How many hours do you have left to go?
1 million.
I've heard people say it's good to stop after 100, which kill me. I got a ways to go.
You're asked to just stop, not finish.
I wish I stopped like a week ago, but I must forge ahead. I have to beat this game.
Okay, so on average, John, how many hours of gameplay are you able to squeeze in during a week, on average?
Oh my God. Probably like between 30 minutes and an hour at the most.
Per week?
Oh, per week? No, that's that's per night. So, per week a few hours.
Yeah, so you're going to be going through the summer.
Yeah, I'll be ready when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. I'll be fresh off the first.
I just
get
playing
the expansion pack.
Yeah, I'll just roll. Oh my, yes, I forgot.
Wait, they're not doing an expansion pack, are they?
It's already out.
Yeah,
it was out the same day the game came out.
Yeah, and then they've got DLC coming out.
What?
2017.
Right now.
It's about time. Nintendo grew up to some extent. So they're on the DLC train.
Oh my God.
Everybody who asked Nintendo to get with the times, I hate all of you.
Remember, it's a monkey's paw.
Yeah, it is. I completely forgot that the Disney Afternoon Collection came out this week. I need to pick that up and play that this weekend.
Yeah.
Triplet's got it, and he was sharing video from it on from his PS4 yesterday on Twitter, and it looks so fun. Need it. Okay.
I never even played all those games originally.
I played about half of them.
I played about half. I never did get DuckTales 2.
The game store.
I never got the.
Go ahead, Don.
I never got any of the sequels, but I did have all the original versions, but not the sequels.
The game store down the road had DuckTales 2 for sale, and it was actually, they were selling it for under eBay prices. It was only $180.
Oh, that's all.
After like 6 months, they finally sold it. Yeah. Which is right before that game collection was announced. Okay, hey, if you're not already, and you got a Roku, make sure you watch us on Roku. It's fun. Go to tfradio.net/Roku and subscribe, and we'll be right there on your Roku home screen. It's pretty amazing. And one more note, if you have an iOS device, and based on our web traffic, 3/4 of you do, why don't you download our podcast through the Apple Podcasts app, starting with this episode when you go to tfradio.net/515. We'll have a nice little button there where you can just go ahead and subscribe to the podcast right from the page, and it's nice and easy for you, and you will never miss another episode. It's pretty great.
I love pushing buttons.
I love pushing buttons. I got my little fidget cube right here, and I'm pushing buttons on it, and it just makes my day. Also, we have something to mention. My buddy Stu reminded me about this year's Lenten Experiment, which is a Transformers art auction, and all proceeds go to cancer research. It's based out of the UK, but the people in my family, so anytime that people want to help, crush that thing, I'm always for it. So let's see here. What do we got? Here's a neat picture of Rodimus that is for auction. It's pretty neat, and that one's currently going for about £10. That's what, about $15 now with the exchange rate.
Yeah,
Might be
probably
less
about
than
that.
So basically, you can go to Amazon, look for user black_robes, BLACK_robes, ROBES, and you can put in a bid, and I'll have.
Oh, they got a Death's Head.
Yeah.
We should get that for Don.
Is it Death's Head or Death's Head 2? That's
It's just
important
Death's
difference.
Head, but
Don likes
Yeah,
Death's
Don
Head.
would be interested in that.
Yeah, Don.
Oh, okay.
Don might be interested in that one. That's the thing. He hates Death's Head too, and he hates that joke. So I'm not going to touch it. I can
Look,
see.
we haven't made that joke in at least a week and a half. We're entitled.
Oh yes, I'm just so.
It's fresh again. This is fine.
Yeah.
Only if Rotten Tomatoes says it's fresh.
I love Rotten Tomatoes. That's one of my favorite websites. And so over the weekend, I decided also to just do an Instagram contest for the heck of it. Didn't even announce it on the show. Basically, we were giving away a Gnaw, a.k.a. Sharkticon from Titans Return. And the winner is Chiptimus Prime. And I'll be contacting you, Chiptimus, and letting you know how you can claim the prize. So
I'm now imagining Optimus Prime wearing a bomber jacket.
Oh yeah, nice. I probably wouldn't have gone there. I probably would have done something a little different, but I'm more of a Dale guy anyway. If I have to admit, I like the Magnum PI look. I think I would be probably more like. I definitely would be more like Dale. Chip was too smart, relative to Dale. I mean, he's no Gadget. We all know that Gadget's the smartest.
It's weird. I was actually leaving Sheets the other day, yesterday.
Awesome.
And I had the Disney Afternoon soundtrack, and I was playing the Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger theme.
That's a great theme.
Waiting to pull out onto the highway, and this car pulled in beside of me and just sort of looked over at me as they were pulling in. I'm thinking, what? It's nostalgia. Do you not have any?
I talked to Kim about that, and I said, do you not have any?
No, but I still managed to find time to beat DuckTales.
Yeah. That's such a great show. I love those themes. I will, just like you, Don, I will listen to them just for fun. Hey, did anybody get anything new this week?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nothing?
no.
I got...
Okay, can we make it when you're producing the podcast version, put some crickets in at this point.
Crickets, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't for lack of trying, but nothing materialized.
Well, with
Thanks,
the
U.S. Customs.
well, with the release date of the new toys, looming large, this could be the calm before the storm. So,
Yes, so release date's when, Monday?
Yeah,
Monday.
it's supposed to be.
Yep.
But one thing I did notice is that I did see at Target on one of the floats, Broadside does have a April 24th big sticker on the box. Don't put it out until then. It was already on the floor, but one of the boxes, it was street dated along with, I'm guessing the movie stuff is going to be as well, because I saw that at Kmart. Although the ones at Kmart did not have the big yellow sticker, it just had it imprinted on the side of the box. So I'm not
That's
sure why they're.
weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're doing two different kinds of boxes that shows the street date notification, but they might be doing it just as a blanket thing, so that way, so none of the movie stuff gets out. Everything is labeled at the same time. That would.
Well, they also said, I think at Toy Fair, they wanted like a big flood of all the product to come out for Merchandise Day.
So fingers crossed. I did manage to pick up a Walgreens Deluxe, which is again going to be less than the premiere edition deluxes that come out next week.
Yeah.
See, it's going to be an interesting thing when Walgreens stocks the movie deluxes.
It's $40.
How much they're
$45 per deluxe.
And Rob and I both found something this week is in checking our Walgreens.
Well, let me finish with this first. So it's Perceptor. He is awesome. I really like him. I think he's so much better than the Generations Perceptor we got a few years ago, mostly because he turns into a microscope instead of an SUV, because that didn't work. So he's a nice little toy. If you can find him, little toy. Through whatever magical means that you have to find deluxe toys on the shelf from Wave 4, if you can do that, do it. So, Rob, what did Don? Pardon me. What did you guys find?
Well, Rob, when you checked your Walgreens, what did you find?
Nothing.
No, the movie toys. Because you and I were in the same boat. Because you found a Crosshairs, right?
Oh man, yeah, we had. There's a Hound and a Crosshairs at my Walgreens. Yeah,
and a Hound shut up. Go ahead.
Yes, Age of Extinction Hound and Crosshairs, priced at the same $18 as the Titans Return Deluxes.
Oh, nice. That's great.
I'm talking about the one steps.
That's awesome. That's even better.
They were briefly marked down to $3.24. And I was thinking about getting them at that point just so they would go away. And I didn't, and now they're back up to full price, which I just kind of figured.
So if you're counting on the Walgreens selling these figures down to get new figures in through the replenishment process.
Obviously, you're not familiar with Walgreens then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that those are going to be there forever because... it wasn't Walgreens, but as of 3 years ago, I found a Generations Tankor at a Rite Aid.
That's awesome.
That was still almost $19.
Yeah,
I wish I had grabbed the full price Universe Ratchet I saw 3 years after the fact at my Rite Aid because I could make some decent money on that now.
In 2013, I still saw Power Rangers Jungle Fury stuff at Rite Aid.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Now, for reference, that was a 2007 show.
And
yes.
in the late 1990s, this was 1999, Don at a Rose's, I found still sealed original 1987 NES games.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that was the coolest example of that. I found 2 summers ago a WWF figure from 1999 on a shelf at a Kmart, but the Kmart was closing, so the liquidator company probably still had that from another retailer and had been trying to sell it over the course of probably those 15 years or whatever it was. So let's see here. Nobody else got anything? Okay. Let's move to This Week in History.
How depressing.
I know. This Week in History, 1996, which was 21 years ago. Little something called Beast Wars premiered in most of the U.S. with Beast Wars Part 1. And I didn't watch it. I actually didn't watch Beast Wars for a whole nother 2 years.
Oh, I was there when I had my VCR set up. I was sitting in front of the TV. I was waiting for this thing to start.
I didn't have internet at home at that point, and I was still in high school. And I didn't get internet access at high school to learn anything like this, and it didn't pop out in TV Guide or whatever, so I had no idea this was a thing.
Yeah, and for you younger viewers, TV Guide was a magazine that you used to buy.
Yes.
So imagine the TV Guide channel, but
it's Pop TV
book.
now.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not TV Guide channel anymore.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so imagine Pop TV then as a book.
It's not just a
and you
book.
had to buy it.
It's not just a book. It was a book local to your market that had content specific to where you lived. So
Exactly.
it was regional. I don't know how many versions they had to be. Hundreds probably. Versions of that came out each week. It's insane. That was the world that we lived in. But yeah, Beast Wars premiered. Beast Wars Part 1's not most of the first season, honestly, is not that great.
Well, there's the low road.
Yeah, there sure is.
No, look, there's good stuff in season 1, legitimately, like Dark Voyage,
Yeah.
Dark Designs.
Dark Designs is season 1, yeah.
Yeah. Victory was a good episode. Not Transformers Victory, no. The Beast Wars episode Victory. The Beast Wars episode is a lot more interesting than that entire Japanese series.
Yeah.
No, season 1 had good stuff once it actually got its feet under it and kind of got moving. But yeah, the first couple months worth of episodes were a little bit harder to take.
So Beast Wars I still maintain that Beast Wars is the best Transformer series, but I haven't revisited it and paid as much attention to it as I should to just see if that still holds water.
I mean, visually, no, but that's not any kind of revelation. But I still think the writing is sharp and on point. That has not deteriorated with age any.
It still has the biggest emotional punch of any Transformer series. Far and away.
I think you go from Beast Wars to animated to parts of Transformers Prime, I'll say. Because, as I've maintained, there is a whole big stretch of Transformers Prime that is just a chore to watch.
It's 3/4 of it.
Well, it's at least most of the second season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the list of really legitimately good Transformers series, I think, is short, and it starts with Beast Wars.
Yeah.
And that's still true to this. That's true to this day, because Machinima's Combiner Wars certainly didn't challenge it.
Hopefully, Titans Return will be a little better.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be.
It can't be any worse. Well, maybe it could.
Hold my beer.
I liked it.
Well, they seem to be awfully proud.
One of the Raiders is now the chief story officer over at Blizzard, so we'll see.
Oh, great. That's
World of Warcraft fans, hope you enjoyed your run.
Yeah. Never mind, no comment. 2012 pre-order window opens for United Artfire with Nightstick and Sparks. And when I saw the word United underlined, I thought something entirely different.
Yeah. And it's sort of weird because the year before we were all trying to scramble to get that Ricochet.
I didn't.
And well, most of us were, because they actually put paint on the Jazz mold and it looks good when you actually have paint on there, and it was a pretty accurate, pretty good recreation. And I remember pre-ordering that because I thought, okay, if Ricochet sold like that, this Inferno mold is almost as popular as the Jazz mold, so this thing's going to sell out. It didn't.
Nope.
It was around for a very long time, and it got dirt cheap in some places.
Well, not dirt cheap. I saw it as low as $80.
Well, compared to the 140 when it was originally.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So it's and I just thought for sure it would sell as fast, if not. Because you and I, Chris, got the last two Ricochets that we saw at that one BotCon.
So Stepper and Artfire both held a much more sacred place in the hearts of Transformers fans, I think, in the 1990s than they do in 2012 or 2017.
Well, the weird thing about
they're just really nice decos, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so the weird thing about it is that United Stepper was a hot ticket item when it came out, because like me and Don said, we were scrambling around BotCon to try to find some.
Without paying.
But at the same time, that deco had been reused on the alternator's body Yeah. So there was that. There was a commemorative series 1, and the commemorative series Ricochet ended up being clearance down to like $13 in a lot of places. I got one.
Yeah.
Like that United Stepper was not even the first modern release of that deco. To say nothing of an update. Whereas Artfire, the United one, was the first reuse of that deco on anything.
Well, so was the problem that he was out of scale with Stepper?
I don't really think it's that, because, I mean,
I
there's
think it
still
was just a bigger, more expensive toy.
Yeah.
and a less interesting thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just, but I just thought for sure that it was going to be even harder to get, and it wound up just being one of those weird reverses of what you think the hobby's going to do.
Yeah, I think, like, ultimately, I think it just proved that nobody really cares about Artfire independently.
Probably.
You know, Stepper has the advantage of, that's a pretty cool looking deco just in isolation. And Artfire just kind of comes along for the ride because they were presented as a pair in their Headmaster's manga appearance.
You can say that nobody cares about Artfire, but I'll have the masterpiece when it comes out. So
I'm not saying that doesn't look good, and if I was the masterpiece person, I'd be happy to get that. At the same time, though, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, so jumping to the news, Robots in Disguise Season 3 kicks off April 29th on Cartoon Network, and it'll include the first appearance of Combiners. So that's pretty cool. I haven't kept up with that series like I should. I really think I probably just need to jump in basically midstream and just watch it. And then, like, that's what I did with Beast Wars. I started second season, then worked my way back.
I still haven't watched most of the first season of Robots in Disguise.
We're bad
At this point, I'm
Transformers fans.
probably just gonna sit here at the bus stop and wait for the next series to come along.
yeah, I'm with Rob.
Well, I've watched everything current up to the end of the last season. However you want to call the seasons, because it's very weird on how it's being broke down. But if this is the last thing, I doubt I'm going to be getting the connectivity to Prime, other than the characters that we're getting. But looking at that trailer, did anyone else get an idea like that Bumblebee and his team trying to combine is going to be kind of like a minor arc, that it's not going to happen right away? It's going to be one of those like Beast Machines where they're trying to learn how to transform. It's going to be one of those like.
Or it'll just be the plot of the first 2 episodes, and that'll just be, the season opener story.
Jason says in the chat that I need to start with the Soundwave episode and go from there.
No, there's some decent episodes before that.
Well, if you specifically want Prime connectivity, that's the place to jump on.
Yeah.
And then just kind of pick around until you get to the 6-episode mini-con arc. Which culminates with Starscream showing up.
The trailer for the season and promo HD screen caps are available at tformers.com, and we will link to them from tfradio.net/515. So, I wanted to talk about this.
Well, I think everybody wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that cup that we talked about last week that was all desaturated, well, they added a little more color. They tinted it a little bit.
Well, no, it's inaccurate to say they added a little more color. They added color.
Yeah. So like in our art for this week's episode, I basically have a picture of that cup with a Snickers bar because you're not yourself.
He just wasn't himself.
Yes. And I think it looks a lot better, though I was perfectly fine with it being gray, to be honest with you.
I wasn't.
I accepted it being gray. This is pretty much what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm with Rob once again. I agree.
There's a difference between accepting what reality is and actually being okay with it.
I had resigned myself to getting the gray one.
I made peace with the fact that I was going to buy this erroneous gray cup because I wanted the new face sculpt and the Targetmaster. But now I'm actually happy that I pre-ordered this. There's a far difference between those states.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for the equivalent revised pictures of Hot Rod that get rid of the new chest mold, but I'm not holding my breath on that.
I'm looking at the Headmaster right now. What's amazing is that it has paint on it.
Because it's a Takara
Yeah,
release.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
You know,
No, this looks a lot better now.
does.
Yeah.
Important thing to note, though, these are new pictures, but they're of the same painted prototype, but the colors are applied with Photoshop.
Yeah.
There's some places where they did not apply the updated colors, like under the transparent windshield parts.
Yeah, you can
that's
tell.
still the original colors under there. We can assume this does accurately represent what they intend for the product to look like, but there will be differences because this is not actually paint on plastic.
So the previous toy that we saw, can we assume that was like a test shot that had been photoshopped, or
it's a test shot in any case, but more likely it was hand painted into the colors we saw it,
and just
and
done
now,
wrong?
yeah, and these are just photoshopped over that instead of going back over and giving it another coat of paint or preparing another test shot with a correct hand done paint job.
Well, I'm glad it's going to be green. I didn't not like the gray. I was worried that they were going to repaint it late, or someone else was going to repaint it later, and I would have to buy it for a third time. So that kind of saves that problem for me. Like, now I only have to get this twice.
I want it in gray now.
Oh.
Well, maybe for BotCon 28.
Maybe in one of next year's big $100 multi-packs.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, if they put it in gray, I can skip it. But if they would have did gray and then green, I would have had to get the green later.
The gray part maybe not, but I wouldn't rule out seeing this mold in one of those multi-packs next year, because we're getting Jinrai this year, so...
Yeah, that's a good point.
If there are significant enough remolds that they're appealing to people who buy $100 multi-packs, Hasbro may do what they can to bring it over.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I've said, I said on Twitter that I really wasn't sure about paying $40 a piece for him and Hot Rod. But I was really impressed with the cup mold, with the American Cup that I found on the way down to Joe Atlanta. I might get this cup because it does look better with those colors, and it would be nice having an actual Targetmaster Kup.
Well, you better jump on it, because I'm pretty sure these pre-orders are going to sell out quick.
Yeah, that's the other reason they're probably going to bring it over, because I have actually bothered to pre-order this for $46.
Yeah. Something new that we're getting this year. I don't know. Have you guys been buying the Hallmark Pop Culture Store Transformers ornaments?
Hell
Yes.
no.
Me neither.
I get them for Christmas every year, so I don't actually buy them myself. I get them for Christmas.
Yeah, see, that's fine. I'm just not going to spend my own money on them.
Yeah, well, if you want to spend $15.95, you can now get a Soundwave, or we'll be able to get a Soundwave.
I mean, I appreciate it's completely toy Soundwave instead of taking easy mode and just making an ornament of cartoon Soundwave.
If this were the 1990s and I was starved for new Transformers stuff, I would so be on these.
But it goes on your tree.
I don't have a tree.
How many Transformers figures do you have hanging off your tree?
I don't have any. I never do a Christmas tree. It's not worth.
You
It's not worth the
should.
effort.
This
Do
is
you
a
just
reason
do
to.
the aluminum rod? Do you do the whole Festivus thing?
No, I don't even bother. It's just not. I mean, there are trees everywhere I go. I don't need one in my house.
Well, hey, Brian, just as something for our listeners and viewers, I went to Hobbylink Japan just to see what the Japanese price was currently. It says it's not going to be released until about 9:30. Right now, with the Japanese yen to the dollar, it's running 35 in Japan at Hobbylink.
This ornament?
No, I'm sorry, the cup. The cup.
Are we talking about that 2 days ago, Don?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was having trouble waiting for the page to load.
Oh, okay.
Don can't multitask.
No,
Don's internet can't multitask.
Hey, while we're at it, so while we're talking in terms of Dononomics, I want to break format and mention Sky Shadow being on Amazon, and the price is lower this week than it was last week. So we actually,
Is it?
Yeah, it's $40.
Really?
Yeah, tfradio.net/Skype.
See, when I looked when I was doing the show notes last night, it was up to like $85.
Well, now it's at 62, so it sold out. So
Okay, so that was completely pointless.
well, it was at $40, but I'm just saying, it hit $40. Don had contacted Amazon customer service to get a price adjustment, and they gave him one. They gave him like $10 back.
Well,
Cool.
initially, I was told that it could not be done. But then I explained that the order was less than 2 weeks old, and that I really would appreciate that, because I mean, basically, it didn't arrive until the 14th, so I've had it less than 5 days.
Did you tell them about Dononomics?
They should know by now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there was a seminar and everything.
Now
He spreads the good word of Dononomics everywhere he goes.
he does. Like, but
Have
whenever
you not heard of Don Talks?
But I cannot fault one of the guys on Twitter was able using Dononomics was able to get the Autobot Platinum Heroes gift set for like $36 from Target.
Wasn't that Ant?
what?
Okay, it was Ant. Yeah, because between gift cards, the red card discount, and the new discounted price on Target, he got it for like $36.
That's awesome. But what I was going to say, and I've mentioned this before, but whenever Don talks about going and getting money back from something he bought, I cannot help but think of that Circuit City commercial from like 1986.
Yeah.
When the kid has the Walkman, he walks up. Last week I bought this, and he shows the guy at the desk an ad. And today I saw this, and the guy just hands him money because, like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
God, that's such a iconic commercial, and that company's dead. Okay,
No, they're not. They're coming back. Well, the name's coming back.
coming back.
Yeah, the name's coming back. Just like, Montgomery Ward is now some kind of catalog service for somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Let's see here. Magna Convoy. So I thought I had this pre-ordered at some point. I canceled that pre-order. We have photos of it.
It's very well done and astonishingly boring.
Yeah.
And it's it's expensive,
And I'm
isn't it?
still getting it.
I love that. It's astonishingly boring.
It is.
This is the GM custom of Optimus Primes.
Yes, remarkable for
It's
being
remarkable for being
completely
completely unremarkable.
He looks very, very Optimus Prime in blue.
Yeah, he's
No, it's powered convoy.
yeah, and didn't
Yeah.
I mean
And I still have that Diaclone powered fans project armor kit, so I'll finally have a truck to go with it.
all right.
And it's so weird that this mold, it hasn't been used as much as the Seekers, but it's gotten a lot of use, and apparently it's still going strong. It's like, when are we going to get a revision of this? Because this has been well used.
Oh no, we have a revision of this, Don. We actually got them a couple weeks ago. It's this mold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's
Well,
true.
that mold can't
That's
be
your
used.
mold. It's your
after.
Optimus.
He's talking about the Octane Laser Prime mold.
Yeah,
So-
but that mold can't be used after Titan Returns dies.
They can probably find a way to retool it.
Yeah.
And pop like a
Just shred it.
permanent head on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like.
Actually, yeah, they totally could, because the torso is all a solid chunk. They could put a pop-up head down there the same way they had the ear thing pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that would be neat.
It would be doable.
Oh, that's
Whether
really,
they want to invest in that or not is a different question. But yeah, this could totally become the new Optimus Prime for the next 15 years.
This mold needs to
Okay,
die. It really does.
I will say
and the
it's.
other-
Go ahead, Rob.
No, you go ahead, Don.
Yeah,
Rob.
I was just gonna say that's a really pretty blue.
Yeah, Rob, go ahead.
I was going to say, wasn't there a bootleg of this mold in these colors too?
Probably.
Yes, there was.
It was not well done.
No, it was in the KOLD knockoff Lucky Draw imprint, and no, it was not well done. They also did a variety of Seeker colors, and I think they did a G1 breakdown before BotCon went back and did G1 breakdown after doing G2 breakdown in 2010.
Actually, I think they did it after Fun Pub did it.
Interesting.
Who even cares?
Yeah, at this
Yeah.
point.
And just to let everybody know that I have absolutely no willpower and would be a really horrible Green Lantern, and I just pre-ordered Kup.
Well,
Good.
you're the last
Good.
one of us to do it, Don.
Like I said, even I did, Don. So I don't think anybody's going to fault you.
So we have from Walmart's website 2 new Transformers Rescue Bots, reskin Bumblebee figures. There is the VTOL Jet and Night Raptor.
Bumblebee's a dinosaur.
I love this.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
I need this in my life.
It wasn't until after I had posted it that somebody brought up on Twitter that the other one is basically Quinjet Bumblebee.
Yeah, you're right. This is my new favorite Transformer, I think. I need that so bad. It is totally Quinjet Bumblebee. Gosh, I didn't even notice that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how much more sense Bumblebee makes as an aircraft?
Yeah. But dang it, he is an awesome dinosaur.
But next time we're doing beasts, we do need a Bumblebee that turns into an actual Bumblebee.
No, what they'll do is they'll just reissue Injector and color him like Bumblebee.
I'd buy it.
They could probably use that Waspinator mold and retool that into a bee.
That'd make too much
They
sense.
wouldn't even retool it; they would just recolor it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
recolor. I mean, the face is totally wrong. They would need.
Oh, well,
who
the
cares?
face, but
Who cares?
No, just leave it.
Yeah, leave
Just
it.
It's fine.
Do the face in gold bug colors. It'll work.
Yeah, totally. Or just do it in Marvel Bumblebee colors, solid yellow.
Yeah.
White eyes.
In the category of things I can appreciate but will never ever buy, I just don't do statues. We have a Superior Optimus Prime statue from Prime 1 Studio. It's nice looking.
There's a few statue items that came up in the last week. I put this one in here because it's at least trying to do something different than slavishly recreating a cartoon model or some such. Or being, the most accurate possible representation of a movie design.
That's not the parts from Jetfire. Is it? What is this representing?
Just a
Optimus
Optimus
Prime,
Prime
in
with
space.
stuff on his back.
Okay.
I mean, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's off to outer space.
So he has like these rocket packs on what are probably wings. They're offset on either side of his back. It's neat looking.
There might be like some Jetfire inspiration with this because it's supposed to be like a fusion of G1 and movie stuff.
Yeah.
So like it could be Jet Power Optimus as reimagined through a little bit of a G1 filter, but at the same time, it could also just be color coordinated, rocket parts.
Yeah.
It's something different and vaguely interesting, so I thought I'd throw it in this week. Yeah. Because we certainly don't have much else to talk about.
So one of my other favorite stories from this week is that Transformers is coming to Carnival cruise ships.
That came up like 3 hours ago, and I was so happy that came up because I knew that would just be the most entertaining thing to talk about.
So, like,
all right, we're all going on a cruise now.
So, we, my wife has been trying to get me to do a cruise for the longest time.
Oh, Kim would kill you.
No, she wouldn't. No, I think she would do that. I think she would do this. I could actually probably get her to come on and talk about it.
No, see, okay, you're looking at this wrong, Brian. She would totally seem happy and agree to this because she knows that after about 24 hours, you'd be far enough out at sea that she could dump your body over and no one would ever find it.
For dragging her to yet another Transformers-inspired event.
Yeah, and the fact that you could have gone well before then, and this is what makes you go.
So, Diecast, was it you and me or John, maybe me and John, or maybe the three of us had talked at one point about, like, doing a couples cruise or something? Didn't we talk about that a couple years ago?
We talked about doing a Transformers cruise, like trying to get everyone from the group and open it up to Transformers fans and try and make it like a Transformers cruise.
Well, they did it for us.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's out of California, so that's kind of a problem.
I don't know if I said so at the time, but I will reiterate now. You could not pay me to go out on a boat like this.
But we would be there.
Yeah, we'd be there. It'd be great.
That's supposed to be a selling point.
And there's alcohol.
Hey, John, you want to do
Also
this?
not a selling point for
Yes.
me.
Would Jamie do this?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Because it's a cruise.
Yeah.
She'll find out about the theme when she gets there.
A 3-hour cruise.
So this is, I think a cruise, like,
Now, I fully realize I'm absolutely no fun, but I just don't see the appeal of going and being stuck out on a boat in the ocean for a week.
It's not
No,
really
no,
a boat.
But think
It's
of
like
all
a
the people
city.
that would be. Think of all the people that would be stuck with us.
But I will say I am partially considering doing that Star Trek cruise with George Takei. That
Really?
would, you know, not him personally. The Star Trek cruise, you know.
I was going to say, is that going to be your double occupancy?
So but I'm
I
partially.
mean, that at least sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah. So. So I'm kind of.
So, George, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the internet.
so moving to movie block, Transformers last night, new diecast metal pendants coming to Japanese vending machines.
We're 5 days away from the movie toys coming out, and this is the best we can do is pendants and vending machines.
So
Everybody
afraid
wants
so.
diecast. What's wrong with that?
Everything, Andrew. Everything's wrong with diecast.
how do you say, is that Gashapon?
Gashapon.
So Takara owned their own vending machine line in Japan. Is that Takara's line, or are they using somebody else's equipment?
I'm sure it's going in their own machines. Bandai has their own vending machines.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm sure they're loading it in their own stuff.
you can find their vending machine systems here too. Occasionally, the one of the grocery stores near me has one of their Takara vending machines. So, but I guess that sucks for people who invested in one of those machines. These are different. I don't get this whole pendant / dog tag thing, like the blind packs and stuff that are in vending machines. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Bag works.
Oh, God. Okay, moving along. So we have, in last night news, Shadow Spark Optimus Prime redeco for last night. So we have a grainy photo of that. Where is this even from?
I have no idea, but the main thrust of this seems to be the Shadow Spark Optimus that's coming out in Hong Kong and China from Hasbro Asia. It's going to be distributed in Japan as a campaign item based on pre-ordering the movie tickets. They did the same thing with the G1 colors Grimlock and Slug and maybe another one of the Dinobot molds for Age of Extinction.
So I'm just looking at the chat real quick and doing a quick scan, and Lunar Fury, who you'll probably see on Twitter, said the next giveaway will be win a room with Don on the RFC cruise.
Yes.
That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be great.
I snore very badly.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so the giveaway
Horribly.
will be the giveaway will be rooming with Don and a gross of earplugs.
Yeah, gross of earplugs. Yeah, you'll need that.
They help. They help. I speak from experience.
Well, I apologize for that. I can't control everything.
Hey, let's talk about Amazon real quick. So you can still get that Transformers Platinum Edition Autobot Hero set for about $86. I think it's like $86.95 right now. That is available at tfradio.net/platinum lowercase. And also anything you want to buy from Amazon helps us out. Amazon doesn't charge you a cent more. You can go to tfradio.net/Amazon. Do you think Amazon has clearance Easter candy or like Easter candy that's like cheap now?
No,
Probably.
Possibly.
Let's check. Not really.
I know you can pre-order the last night Hasbro figures.
Oh, that's right. So let's see. Last night, Barricade.
although didn't we find out in pre-show that they're not going to be in stock until the first?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to go there, but like,
Yeah, I don't understand that, but
so the pricing is a little weird right now. It says Transformers: The Last Night Premier Edition Deluxe Barricade, only $34.99. That might not be something I buy from Amazon. Just
Is
saying.
that a direct sale thing, or is that a marketplace seller?
It's sold by a marketplace seller.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I found him Barricade for $19.99.
Okay, here's a Berserker for $19.99. That's direct
Yeah.
from Amazon.
It's just that everybody wants Barricade, so the direct inventory already went on that.
Yeah, I'm assuming that deluxe Barricade sold out from Amazon. Yeah, so
That's what I just said.
I
yes.
know, but I'm putting in it words people understood.
I actually like that Berserker better.
Yeah, but you're wrong about a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Berserker looks okay, but he is a little simplistic. He looks almost like
What I've heard from the early in-hand reports is that it is very shell former and very fiddly to transform.
there you go. That's what he looks like.
So it's the movie toy.
It's a bad example of a movie toy.
Gotcha.
Yep. But yeah, absolutely. TFRadio.net/Amazon. Just buy whatever. Hey, I was mentioning that hot tub earlier. You could buy one. It's like $300, $350. Put it in your backyard. Fill it
Do
up.
you have to put it in your backyard?
No, you can put it in your front yard if you wanted to.
What if you don't have a front yard or a backyard?
If you
I do not recommend putting them indoors.
you could do it if you're like on a slab. I wouldn't do it like on the third floor.
Okay.
Also,
what if you're
Somewhere with a
on the
lot of ventilation.
Yes.
What if you're on the third floor and you hate the people who live below you?
Yeah, do it.
Then
Absolutely.
by all means.
Absolutely do it. Yeah, so tfradio.net/Amazon. Okay, moving on.
Disclaimer, we do not actually endorse or recommend pranking your neighbors by flooding their homes.
Yes. Third-party news, Unique Toys unofficial movie Lockdown prototype revealed. Yeah. What's up with that face?
It's Lockdown's face.
Oh, this picture. So I'm looking at one right now. He looks like... Does he have like a visor like Cobra Commander?
He had that as an option.
Okay.
Also the gun phase.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So for people watching the video, I'm looking at this one, but the one here looks odd to me.
Why do we need this?
Well, this one is supposed to be around leader size, although some reports are saying more like old Ultra class.
Hold on, I'll be right
Okay,
back.
I know where Diecast is going with this, but like for people who don't want the Weijing approach necessarily.
If you don't want to buy a KO toy, buy a stolen buy a toy that's a third party.
Right
Yeah,
here.
if you don't want to participate in tooling theft, if you draw the line at IP theft,
That's what I was trying to say. Thank you for saying it right.
Kun Ban Bao is the movie Lockdown, and he has both heads, and he even has the gun face. So he has the gun that'll go on his face.
Yeah.
And this was like I don't know, $10 or something.
Do you remember when we just did without?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Okay.
It's amazing how entitlement has grown over the last decade.
It is. Hey, so we're running. Not a lot in the way of news.
We're running short.
We're running short. So we had a pretty fun discussion last week after the show was over. We posted an RFC Extra in respect to what Masterpiece toys come next. But it really occurred to us in the beginning of the show, or before the show started, that sometimes we don't really know why we still do this. Not the podcast, but collect.
Well, that too sometimes.
But why we subject ourselves to the poor supply chain, increasing prices, poor selection,
Gimmicks we don't care about.
gimmicks we don't care about. But why do we still do it? We love it, but do we hate ourselves at the same time? What do you guys think?
Well,
I just don't know any other way to live.
when deluxes are going to be $20 at retail, I kind of do start to wonder why am I going to do this?
I'm not going to do that.
So one thing I was suggesting before is if I'm not buying that, there are lots of things I've missed in the past or collections that I could complete that would cost less than buying however many deluxes come out at the $20 price point.
Yeah.
I could just go, Masterpiece exclusive and save myself a lot of money throughout the year.
Man, I don't know how. I mean, you're not buying the deluxes and everything else, but like even doing the Masterpiece just themselves still isn't the super cheapest thing.
But when you eliminate the Titan Master price point and the Legends price point and the Deluxe price point and the Voyager price point and the Leader price point and the Titan price point that you're paying, that's a lot of money you cut out every year.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
How
remember
many masterpieces actually come out in a year?
5 or 6.
Right.
Depending on the year, last year was like 10.
So you're looking at close to $1,000.
Yeah.
We were getting one a month there for a while.
Yeah, and then also if you consider third-party masterpieces as part of your collection, if you're trying to, it's like, well, some people might, because that we might get Downbeat as a fill-in for Jazz.
I did buy Downbeat because I didn't expect that I'll ever get a Jazz, and I'll probably be disappointed by that because we probably will get one.
Yeah.
I mean, Tokyo Toy Show is coming up, and if they want to, announce a big license they've acquired, that might be the place to do it.
Yeah, but when I talked about just limiting myself, when you don't really limit yourself by adding third party to the mix. It's the exact opposite. Again, there's 7 or 8 Springers coming out.
6 at the Masterpiece scale. Yeah.
But no,
the 7th one is Warbot Defender, which was a long time ago.
I don't even count that one. That was like 2008.
I thought we just had a 7th. I thought we just saw a 7th recently.
No, we saw new pictures of one of the 6.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Rob.
I understand your confusion.
Rob.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think it's absolutely important, especially as the prices go up, to just get more and more selective about this. There are characters and there are figures that I don't want to miss, and I do my best not to miss them, but sometimes I can't get everything, and I just, learning to let go of that was really liberating for me in a sense. I mean, the part about not being able to afford it when you want something still really sucks, but not feeling like I have to get every single figure, which I think I gave up on somewhere around Cybertron. That was when, that just really was very relaxing for me.
Well, the counterpoint to that is, when was the last time it was practical to get every figure?
It's practical.
Somewhere around Cybertron.
I think it's fairly practical.
6, I guess.
I think it's fairly practical now. It's not like so much stuff comes out that that you can't do it.
I don't know. It's pretty staggering where we're at right now.
I was about to say, remember that the you in that statement is extremely subjective, Brian.
True.
I've been keeping up with pretty much every wave, at least deluxes. I've had every US deluxe release probably for the last 3 years.
Does that count movie toys?
That does not count
exactly
movie toys.
Okay, so it is subjective. No pun intended. It hits me in waves. Like, there are certain things that I really want all of, and there are certain things I don't care about. Movie tends to be something I don't care about, and I can just buy selectively. Generations, I tend to want everything. Sometimes I skip a couple things here or there, like a repaint, but for the last year or two, I've tended to buy everything.
It also, Brian, could be also boils down to the distribution issue you mentioned, because it's stuff that we might be kind of on the fence on normally, but then we finally spot it. It's like, okay, it's like, I wasn't going to buy it. Let's say you don't need, you have no desire to get the Skull Country repaint of Croc.
Well, that's a bad choice.
Oh.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Okay.
It's awesome.
Or whatever the case may be, but you finally see one, and it's like, if I don't get this one, I will probably never see it again, or at least not for a long time.
Better example, Breakaway.
Yep.
What about him?
Well, it's the same kind of situation where it's like a short packed figure in its case. It's a repaint of a previous mold. It's just a far less desirable deco than Croc.
Yeah, okay. But it's a character, like, we haven't gotten... Well, no, there was a Revenge of the Fallen toy, wasn't there? Like,
I think it was with the 2007 line, but yeah, it was a Walmart exclusive movie imprint.
Yeah, and I've seen a really nice custom that uses the Titan Master head with that, and I've been very tempted, but that's like a lot of money to get those two toys to stick together.
So, go ahead, Don.
No, I say something more contemporary. Storm Shot.
Yeah, it's very nice.
People might not be an RID fan, but when they finally see one, they're like, "Well, do I get it now or
Yeah. So
I keep passing on that one.
What Rob talked about, though, as far as like giving up that need to be a completist, again, that hits me in waves. But like, do you guys think that you can just turn it off? And if you can't, why can't you turn it off for movies, but not turn it off for Generations or Masterpiece or whatever? Or why do you select certain third-party toys and not every third-party toy?
Because I don't like ramen that much.
Third-party toys for me are for filling in a character that Hasbro is probably not going to get to really soon, if ever, like the Decepticon Justice Division or that MMC Spartan for Impactor. I mean, these are really good representations of characters that are, not the top tier Optimus Prime Bumblebee Soundwaves that you get 3 new toys of every year.
I really want to break the whole completist thing when it comes to Generations, but I'm finding it really hard.
I'm not finding it really hard. I have the Voyager Optimus mold because it came in a box set. I've seen both Voyager Optimus and Voyager Megatron and left them both sitting. I will get them as Octane and Blitzwing, but I do not need every deco of every character evermore.
I'm trying to think of the last thing that I actually skipped. Go ahead, Rob.
For me, it kind of on Generations, it kind of comes and goes on how completist I feel. Combiner Wars, at one point I actually had almost all of the retail deluxes and Voyagers, but Menasor and Battlecore Optimus Prime and his wave, I both got sold to go to BotCon, and I'm finding that I really don't miss them that much.
I'm trying to think the last American release Generations toy that I missed, and I think it was Skullgrin from 2010.
That's not a bad thing.
I have that one.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think Skullgrin was the last one that I felt that I could skip. And I kind of regret it.
Check your closet. You may have picked it up somewhere in the internet.
You probably have 3 of them in there.
I think I tend to use as a baseline, I kind of want to be mold completist. I want at least one instance of every mold that's made. And I think part of that comes down to, I just want to see how they make, X, Y, and Z toy work as a practical thing.
Experience the engineering.
Yeah, that's been something that's instilled in me for a long time. I really appreciate Transformers on an engineering level. It's interesting to me how they make each one work. Each one is usually a little bit different from every other one. It's a really interesting thing to explore from that perspective. Now, of course, there is the cases where I will get multiple instances of one mold because it's a really good mold or the decos are pretty. How many Generations Jazzes do I have sitting around at this point? Or Cyberjets for that matter, but at the same time, that does leave me more readily able to skip specific instances. As much as I would kind of like to get Sky Shadow because I want to experience that mold, and it's probably going to be a little while before Overlord comes out, I don't really need to have Sky Shadow. It's that kind of thing. And the same as Matt with the Voyager Optimus. I held out for the box set version because it's a deco I wanted more. So I didn't get the retail one. I only have one of that. It's kind of that thing. But in terms of Generations, I can't actually think of a mold I've chosen to skip outright. In I don't know how long. Movies are easier because I don't like the aesthetic as much.
Yeah.
But it also kind of flies in the face of my engineering thing because some of those were engineered in really impressive, interesting ways, and it's just that aesthetic took me out of it so much I couldn't even appreciate them on that level enough to buy them.
Yeah, I skip movie stuff outright.
Let's see here. I think I can probably count on one hand all the Generations toys, or all the toys I've missed since Classics came out. When it comes to Classics and Generations, that makes me sad now that I think of it. That's kind of awful. No wonder my wife hates me. She doesn't hate me.
I'm sure there's other reasons,
Yeah,
Brian.
she
Don't
doesn't.
sell yourself
I mean,
short.
classics is what me got back into collecting, and I mean, some of the small scale stuff, some of the harder to find stuff, legends and stuff like that, and noticeably Universe, Hotshot, Cheetor, and Dinobot I skipped. But other than that, I've got a pretty complete classics collection.
Yeah.
I was.
Go ahead, Don.
Sorry. I was collecting a universe basically when it started with that first wave, when Prowl and the rest of them came out. I was literally buying doubles all the way up until probably around right after Grapple came out. So I was buying one box and one loose, and up when Grapple came out, I realized I can't keep buying duplicates because I love the card art. I like the look of the design of the figures. I like the way they looked in the packaging. I liked everything about them. But I got to the point where it's like I cannot keep buying doubles of everything. This is just too much.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, man.
The one thing that's going to help with the movie line, at least at this point, is almost half of the Last Night line is reuses of previous line molds. So that's really easy to skip stuff right there.
Well, when I was at the Kmart, I asked the person putting out the stuff if I could open up one of the boxes just to look at the figures, because he knew about the street date. I said, I can't buy them, but kind of look at the figures because I haven't seen them in person. And it was the Legion figures. And other than maybe the Barricade was a new mold, I couldn't quite. If it was an old mold, it's not. I couldn't place it from memory. But the entire Legion wave in that box was all repaints. The entire wave was repaints.
Yeah, Barricade is Beast Hunter's smokescreen.
Okay, I couldn't tell from what it was, and it's like that's gonna save so much money because I've either already got the molds or I didn't want them in the first place. So I don't want them. I don't want to not want them again. So.
What an interesting sentence.
Yeah.
I enjoy the collecting, but it's a very important part of having a more rounded lifestyle.
Yeah, it's like I said at the start of this, I don't know any other way to live, and it basically comes down to I don't know what I would do with myself if not for this or something just like it.
Yeah.
I think I could find things to do with myself. I think I could find ways to spend my time. There is something still about Transformers after all this time that I really enjoy. I don't know quite how to put it. Transformers is one of the things that just is kind of stuck around for me. I cycle through other interests fairly rapidly. I will get obsessive about something, read as much as I can about it for a couple of months, and then it will go away. But I think Transformers is probably the only thing in the last 15, 20 years that I have stuck with long enough to actually, sit around and get a case of the existentials, trying to figure out why I still like this. So there's probably something to be said for that.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about where we're leaving this off. I don't feel that we have much more to say. Does anybody have any final parting thoughts before we jump to what's on TFormers?
I just love Transformers. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
me too. Me too.
Even if I wasn't buying the toys as actively as I am, I still think I would. The increased price point to me kind of is what would break my completism. Like, it's very easy to say, well, I like 3 of these characters and the wave has 4 in it, so I'll buy that 4th character.
absolutely. I mean, there is a limit, and it is primarily due to financial, situations. Like, I'm not going to be able to keep doing this forever if, we're paying $20 a piece for deluxes.
Yeah.
Well, if we get to that point, it's just going to be a lot easier to step back a little bit, look at the whole thing, and say, well, if I really want this mold, I'll pay a little bit more and get the far superior, generally, Takara Tomy version, where at least if I'm paying a premium for it, I feel like I'm getting something back out of that.
So have we turned into Hasbro Suxors kind of people?
Oh,
No.
I absolutely not.
No.
It's just we are getting to a point where the Hasbro product, in a pricing situation alone, makes the Takara stuff feel like it's a lot more competitive.
Yeah, and kind of in terms of what the two markets are like, and what Takara does with their deco and what Hasbro does with theirs, things have kind of just gone 180 degrees since that was a joke in the fandom.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, we're like full circle here because, in the 90s with the Beast Wars stuff, the Takara decos were considered superior, more accurate, all that stuff. Then halfway through, it went back around where the Takara one was like, this is weird and I don't like what they're doing with this. And now we're back around again to Takara's trying to do, really cartoon-focused stuff, more paint applications and everything, new parts and all that.
Yeah, now they're getting into new remolding, and that's just weird.
Yeah,
But no, weird but awesome.
Yeah, but no, my final thought on all of this is that I think it is important to ask yourself this question every once in a while. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this out of habit? Am I doing this out of obsession, or do I actually really love this thing? And is what I'm getting out of it worth the money and the stress? It's important to actually ask yourself all that and make sure that what you're doing is healthy for you.
That's a good point. It really is.
I mean, I was going to say with the distribution, because we keep talking about poor distribution. I mean, for me, it's kind of the opposite. Yes, retail store distribution stinks, but there's so many other ways to get Transformers now that I don't have to search stores. I can get it.
That's how I want to get stuff, though, is go to the store and buy it.
I want to get stuff
but that's not
with the
everybody.
least amount of frustration I can manage.
Yes, I don't want to keep going to the same store over and over and over again and just being aggravated when that one figure never shows up.
I don't want to discount here that there's a great feeling when you do drive to a store and you go look in the aisle and there's a new thing there and you can grab it and walk out and have it, in your hand, go home with it right all at once. That's a great feeling when you can.
If that's a consistent experience, it's a great feeling. But sometimes if I go, especially after going for the longest time and finally find something, I don't feel a sense of relief. I'm like, why did it take so long for me to find this?
See,
I think you're a little bit farther gone than I am.
Most people are happy when they go into the store and they find something. But I mean, there's people like Matt who live in a remote location who will pay a little bit more for a Toys R Us exclusive because he can't drive to Toys R Us, 3-4 times a week.
Because every Toys R Us I have, there are 4, and each one is a 2-hour drive in any location.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't go to Toys R Us.
Matt.
That's right.
I want to back up Brian. I want to back up Brian on this though, because it's kind of like a video game experience where the third or fourth time if you beat a boss the first time, you're very happy.
Yes.
If you beat it the second time, third time, you're relieved. If you finally beat it on the 10th try, it's like, well, screw you. And that is the feeling I get when it has taken me 7 tries to find something in the store.
Yep. So let's go ahead and jump to what's on TFormers this week, Rob.
Very little. We've got Jin Kim's retailer incentive cover for Lost Light number 5, which is very nice. We also just today posted Sarah Peter Durachet's cover for Till All Are One number 12, which may have some minor spoilers just in case you go looking for that.
Okay.
But really nice piece of art.
Yeah, really nice piece of art, and it's there's a theme going along for all 4 covers in the next story arc, and she posted a side-by-side comparison of those 4. And it looks really nice. And also, Casey Collar posted his design for IDW's Warrior King Galvatron, and that's a really nice design as well.
Cool.
So that's about it.
Don, take us away.
All right. On the network this week, we have Superhero Time Presents, that one episode of Star Trek, The Outcast. Chris, I remember this episode, but I don't remember the season. Was it a season 1? Season 5? Okay, because I remember it being so bad and so disjointed that it seemed like it was a season 1 episode for some reason. But
we do comment in the podcast that there is certainly some issues with the episode in a creative sense.
You're still doing the socially progressive failure month, right?
I'm calling it the socially regressive month, but yes.
I suggested a series of progressive faceplants.
Yes, but you're getting a little too obtuse at that point, and
a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget, last week they took a break from that one episode of Star Trek and talked about Power Rangers, so you can also check that out as well.
Wow.
Now, we do have one thing. We do have one thing in the planning. It's not a theme, but we're thinking of subtitling an upcoming episode PTSDS9. So look forward to that.
Okay. Being Awesome 99X, which is...
That's like a radio station in Atlanta.
Yeah, okay. Rob Springer talks about bad Transformers tattoos and stuff while going into new movie hype, which magically plays into this week's Q&A about missing movie games.
So Rob always starts off with like a cold open where he just gives a little story. The one this week is the most epic one he's ever done. It's amazing. It goes 10 minutes, but it's worth every second. It's basically he describes that person that we've all met before who is like the Transformers expert or the comic expert or whatever in the field where we have some expertise, and they don't know a thing. And you just resent them because they think they're like, yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing.
And then you tell stories about them for the next 8 years.
Or 20 years in this case.
Well,
yeah, well,
we're thinking of different instances, but yes, it's all the same.
I know what you're thinking about too. Don, you want me to help you with this one, or do you want to try it?
I'll read it and then you can explain it.
Okay.
On Take 4 Wrestling episode 28, Big Bully Busick interview this week on Busick. Okay, thank you. This week on Take 4 Wrestling, JT interviews his friend and WWF superstar Big Bully Busick.
Busick.
Bully Busick shares his experience.
It's like a Buick, but with an S.
Okay, Busick shares his experience with the wrestling business, working for Vince McMahon, his health and being cancer-free, on the territory days, and more. This week's gimmick of the week is the Berserker.
You did a great job, Don.
Which I'm guessing is not $20 at your local store.
No. That's good. I think you got it.
Okay, and on the RFC Extra, we talked about what Masterpiece toys are left. Have everything been done? No.
Yeah.
But listen to the show and hear our theories.
So
especially the great one about Robots in Disguise 1.0 getting masterpieces.
So
I don't remember that part, Don.
Yeah. So this coming week, we're going to have the first episode of a brand new podcast that I've been working on for a while. It's already recorded. It's in the can, and it's going to get posted Monday morning. We also have a new voice, a new co-host on Take 4 Wrestling, and that's going to be exciting. And John and I tried to record an episode to Get the Skinny. It lasted 40 minutes. It was the greatest episode we ever did. But thanks to the Windows 10 Creators Update, it failed.
Why wasn't John recording a backup?
Because John is bad at this. They'll never hear Brian. They're never going to hear our interview with Richard Simmons.
I know. It was a one-time deal.
Again.
It was a one-time deal.
I know. Well, we found him.
Yeah.
This is why New Soundwave died.
No, it died for.
We've actually been doing New Soundwave every week, but the recordings have all failed.
Yeah.
I still have the blood of New Soundwave all over my hands. So I think I did that one gleefully.
I think John and I are going to get together and re-record an abbreviated version of the podcast, hit the same point, highlights, but it's not going to be the same. But it's not the first time we've done that before, though. So I have a physical backup going of every single podcast I'll ever do again.
Physical?
Yeah, physical. Like, I have my field recorder plugged into the board with a recording going. So
that's the one that didn't work.
No, that's a different recorder.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
for a minute you had found a way to make the audio take like physical form.
No.
Like
No,
some kind
that'd
of
be
weird
running it to a phonograph.
Yes. That's exactly right. No, Diecast, I have speaking of things I have way too much of, podcasting and radio equipment is one thing that I have too much of.
Oh man, we should totally press an episode of RFC to vinyl.
We could do that.
The first episode.
Diecast, Don too, but it was a different house. They've both been in my house and they've seen that I have way too much stuff. Yeah.
Well, I've traveled with you, and I also know that you have way too much stuff just in your travel kit.
Yes, that's true. I have a problem. Don, finish us off.
All right. Okay. Remember, you can find this episode at www.tfradio.net/515 to view the show notes. Don't forget our voicemail line. You can use it to send text. That's 931-99-GOBOT. That's 931-994-6268. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, your favorite smoke signals, whatever you might want to do. And also be sure to check us out on Roku under the special interest tab for all of your podcasting desires.
And speaking of too much equipment, Don, I finally got the phone system back up and running. I realized that so we can start doing our podcast, we're going to have people call in, so that'll be fun.
So hopefully sometime in the next 4 or 5 years, hopefully before I die, we'll get that up and running.
Yeah, Don's show. Yeah, this would be one where I'd like to have a producer who's not just me, but they would actually have to physically come into my house and do this one.
Mm-hmm.
Triplet.
He lives an hour away, and it's not really.
It doesn't matter. It's triplet.
It's not his bag.
His inconvenience doesn't matter to us.
Yes,
Well, hey Brian.
Hi, Chris.
Brian, you've got an excellent producer living with you. You could ask him to do it.
Oh God.
And then you can be a podcasting family.
I've suggested that before, and she has shot it down every single time.
Kim should have her own podcast. Just whatever she wants to talk about, living with the collector. Like she could get on just for like 30 minutes each week and just talk about, for spouses that have collectors, coping strategies.
I think she should just for 5 minutes once a week, just talk about her favorite thing she got from Sheets this week.
So funny enough, like my friends, some other friends, John, Chris, and I share. Our spouses call themselves robot widows. That's kind of how it goes. So it's kind of funny. Let's see. You can find me on Twitter at bkilby and on Instagram at Brian Kilby. We are on the Facebooks at facebook.com/tfradio and on Twitter at tfradio and on Instagram at tfpodcast. And I will be reaching out to Chiptimus Prime tonight to let him know that he won the Gnaw and that'll be coming his way. Chris is on Twitter at ChrisRTXV. Don, how are you? How do people reach you?
They can reach me on Twitter at HMRC4EVR or through the various tags such as hashtags for TFYLP and RFC. I'll get it from somebody in some fashion.
Nice.
Do we have a hashtag?
You could do a hashtag, I guess. Nobody does. It's like we've done them before, but
well, I'm sure our buddy Eric is pretty much will catch anything done for RFC, and I'm sure he'll let us know. So
we do.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Diecast.
You can follow me on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast. I'm going to start doing, which I already started this week. Every couple days, I'm going to post something really weird that Transformers related that I found on Taobao. So if you want to see weird Transformers merchandise, follow me on our Reviews by Diecast or on Facebook or on Twitter at Diecast2.
And you're getting close to 1,000 followers on Twitter, I noticed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
At Diecast2, help him out.
Yeah, help me out. Help me get to 1,000.
Chris Triplet just said on Twitter he would watch a show called Robot Widows.
Oh, that would be great. Did he change his Twitter handle? I think he may have.
No, he's still Man of the Town.
Okay, he changed his
His
name
display name's different.
to see Triplet. Man of the Town is the best Twitter handle ever, especially if you know Triplet. I love that so much. It's the best. Matt.
What?
Exactly. Rob.
I am on Twitter at Figure Reviewers. I am on YouTube at Flailthroughs. This week's toy review is the in-action offshoot heavy metal Elgime, which, if you're interested in that, you'll know what all that means, and if not, you won't. And as always, you can find XB and my Transformers reviews on YouTube at TFormers TV.
Nice. And John.
I'm that John D on Twitter. By the way, speaking of Twitter,
Yeah.
I was toying with the idea of doing a segment that was basically called hashtag Transformers, and I would read funny or weird tweets
Do it.
that people have done with the hashtag Transformers. It's the most disappointing search I've had in a while. People need to step up their Transformer tweeting game because hashtag Transformers is Dullsville. So I'm going to throw down the challenge for people to stuff the ballots. If you want this kind of segment, you guys are going to have to put your weird hat on and tweet some stuff with hashtag Transformers, or I'll never find it.
I'll do my cowbell at
right now,
hashtag
that's fine.
Transformers.
That would be an improvement. Right now, it's a weird mix of like auction tweets and Ben Yee musings. That's about it.
That alone should be, very interesting reading right there from our friend Ben.
We love Ben. It occurred to me about 5 minutes ago that I did not prep for the Transformers Bad Poets Corner segment, but I could real quick. Let's see here. Let me check Google Groups and actually just find one of my old poems from like the 1990s. But yeah, let's do. Let me kill some time here. Google Groups.
Is it going to be like really 90s, like with a bunch of like off-color humor and extreme isms in it?
Let's see.
That kind of 90s?
Maybe not. Let's see here.
It's not Attitude Era Brian Kilby.
It is not Attitude. Okay, here. That's
Wasn't Attitude Era Kilby like 2005?
Yeah.
He was a little behind the curve then.
Is this did Aaron Bourquet did something? What was that? More Prime than I did a poem called More Prime Than Prime at some point. Oh my god. Let me read this.
I was about to say, is this one of those things where you look at your writing from like 20 years ago and go, "Oh my god, I want to die"?
Pretty much. Let's see here. Maybe I won't get this out this week.
It's certainly feeling that way.
Yeah, it's a shame.
This is great podcasting right
It is
now.
phenomenal It is phenomenal podcasting. Oh god, here it is. Okay. This one's longer. I should do it. Should I do it in the Happy Day form?
Yes.
Yes.
We agreed.
Okay, so this was posted. Okay, y'all. This is a poem that I wrote back in August 19th, the year 2000. So that was almost 17 years ago, y'all. That was a long time ago. So, it's a little rough. It's not quite what I'd write now, but you gotta feel it. So, it's called Transform. Transform. When in trouble. When in doubt. Transform. Transform. When an evil calls you out. Transform. When you know that you must fight. Turn darkest hour into light. Transform. 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 There you go. That's from me to you across space and time. And next week's we'll talk about More Prime Than Prime, which is another poem I did, and it'll touch your heart. I know it touched mine. So hope y'all have a good podcast week, and we'll be back same podcast time, same podcast channel. And I just want to thank y'all for being a listener, and I want to thank y'all for being my friend. So we'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye. Okay. That was a terrible poem. I can't believe I wrote that.
There was a great cold into the show. Are you going to just cut the recorded show at the end of that?
I'll just do it at the end of that. That was...
Yeah, just cut it.
The sad thing is, I actually remember that poem.
Yes, you do. I'm not surprised. The other was called More Prime Than Prime. Rodimus Prime or Optimus Prime? Who is the greatest of all time? One transforms and saves the day. He leads his troops and does not stray. With the power of the Matrix, he will not fail. The other, well, he plays basketball. That'll be good for next week.
I kind of assumed that's where that was going, but I don't actually remember that one from way back.
I did another one called In Common. Leaders almost always have something in common to share, from brave Autobot courage to keen Decepticon strategy. Autobot leaders always know how those under them fare, for if a leader knows nothing, it's a real tragedy. I do not remember this. Wait, no, that's wrong. Which we will learn in time. Completely dissimilar from their head to the tip of their feet. Simply put, Autobots' leaders are always named Prime, and the cons only share a single phrase, Decepticons retreat. I put way more thought and energy into that than that was worth.
That describes a lot of what you do, though.
This absolutely is true. I do like that. I do like that one about more Prime than Prime. I am fond of that. I'm saving this.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, back in the day, if you had read that back in the day, you would have gotten a sterling worded letter from Rockshaw on that.
I did. Very likely. The other, he plays basketball. That's funny. I used to be funny.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Poetry. There are more that I have posted out there, too. I just need to dig it out.
Do you really?
Yeah. I'm certain I did. Okay. God, I have to have more poems out there.
You have to.
Yeah.
He has to, otherwise this segment's not going to last very long.
Yeah. I can just write more.
Oh, that won't be very authentic.
Yeah, it will. Poetry, not poetry. Man.
Podiatry.
Transformers podiatry. Let me stop the recordings.
That would be a great one. Like, what are the best and worst Transformers foot designs we've ever seen?
Oh God, that would just be amazing.
That sounds like a
Transformers is drawn by Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, that sounds like a Watch Mojo top 10 list. I want him as Ultra Mammoth. I really want him as Ultra Mammoth.
I just kind of want to get one.
Yeah, that.
I assume I will see them after the 24th.
I wish I had known. I found 3 and sold the other 2.
Yes,
That's
I think
okay.
you mentioned that previously.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'd rather try and find it in person, save the shipping.
I'll just wait for ages 3 and up to ship it.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't quite get around to in the discussion before. It's like there is like a balance point for me of cost and time, because I can't go too high on the cost. So, if I can't get it fast, if I can't get it cheap enough online, I have to do it on person. If I can't do that either, I've got to let it pass.
Okay. I got it.
I'm just sitting here actually thinking about what the worst Transformers foot designs have been.
See me, I'm just like, maybe I can get another
Movie
job.
sideswipe.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say there, Matt.
It would be by Bad Cube, if we're talking official.
No, but Movie Sideswipe literally had wheels for feet, didn't he?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
And very, very small heel spurs. Well, the later one they added heel spurs to help, but yeah, the first one just had this very small little.
Yeah, that movie design was the first thing that said, "I'm not watching this movie." I remember exactly where I was when I watched that trailer and went, "Yeah, no."
Well, the movie stood up about as well as that toy.
Oh.
What's sad is I think I have, other than the one that came out last year for Age of Extinction, that United EX version of Sideswipe, because I'm not spending $50 for that mold plus shipping. But I think I have every version of Sideswipe that came out from the movies.
What a
But
bad choice to make, Don.
Well, but I love Sidearm Sideswipe. He looks so good, and he's just
So other bad Transformers foot designs, Generations Windblade.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And I'm not really sure if you can call this a. Well, I really can't call it a foot design, but like G1 Shockwave, because he's got these feet, but they're so narrow. There's like there's almost not any footprint, and then over time the springs and the legs start sliding on their own. So when you couple that with that little narrow footprint, he won't stand up. He does this.
I'd put Beast Machine's Mega Cheetor in basically the same line there, because like those feet were put teeny tiny, and the center of mass was not well placed.
What's that helicopter everyone hates with the stick
Blaze
legs?
Master.
And
for future reference, you can just say, "What was that helicopter that Hey Mickey set on fire?"
Ah, okay.
and Supreme Cheetor, because the feet could not hold the weight of the body, because it was just
Supreme Cheetor was not as bad off as the Mega, partly because they actually gave it like rubberized soles for the feet, so it had some traction.
Speaking of setting Transformers on fire, Diecast, how's Kronos doing?
I haven't found it yet. I don't know if it's at my mother and father-in-law's house still, or.
Well, Diecast, instead of you setting it on fire, since you obviously don't want it, send it to me. I can have one in jet mode and I can have one in robot mode. So just send it.
They'll send you the remains after he burns it.
Yeah, but then I have to pay shipping. I'd rather set it on fire.
He can get YouTube. He can get Amazon, or he can get Google AdSense for the fire.
Yeah.
Well, Diecast, have you considered that you might be able to sell that Kronos?
No.
He could probably get more out of the AdSense, I bet, if it did really well.
I think he's doing this on principle, Don. I think it's beyond money. I think it's.
Well, I mean, I've admitted Phoenix is a better toy. It's just there's no sense in destroying another toy just out of spite.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If it was a good toy, good toy, I'd agree with you. There's no sense in destroying it when someone else might enjoy it. But this is Kronos, and it is literally impossible for anyone to enjoy that toy. And Don, you are just lying to yourself.
I would also argue that there's an imperative not to destroy the single extant copy of a bad toy, even. But Kronos is not having that issue.
Not as long as Don's alive.
Yeah.
Now, when Don does unfortunately pass away and his collection filters out to the rest of us, one of us will need to preserve that Kronos for posterity. But in the meantime, Diecast should have no problem burning his.
Not it.
Okay, I'll make you a deal. I will take the Kronos if I can get Don's Overlord.
Like hell, I got 11 regenerations left. My ass is going to be around forever.
Now, I was thinking what we should do is like put Kronos in a tube as like a Batcave style memorial to Don somewhere.
I give Don till. Are we still recording? Or no?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I won't say it.
Actually, people watching live, I do need to jet, so we'll see you next week. Thank you for being here, and thank you for putting up with this.